Hello. Sorry, Jeff. Hi.
This is the first class I taught at Dartmouth. I came to teach a special course that commemorates the 50th anniversary of Native American Studies and the first class of women at Dartmouth. I asked if I could teach it from the things that are meaningful to me, arts, authors, activism. And I was really excited to teach the course with the guest feature of having Native alumna come and speak to us.
I don't think many classes are structured on guest speakers coming in every single week. And it was amazing how Professor Hyde so seamlessly integrated everything together.
So I'm at class of 99. I'm Navajo, Creek, and Greek. I was very much a math and science person. That's why I came to Dartmouth. And then I became an artist. So when I present this piece, I read this text. When the natural resources of Earth start becoming scarce, many people will look towards the option of leaving this planet in hope of finding another planet that will sustain life. While most people will be in the fancy, sophisticated NASA-type space shuttles, there will be people such as Indians who cannot afford such luxury.
This class has certainly been one of my favorite classes that I've taken at Dartmouth. We were given so many opportunities to learn in a different way, not just in the classroom.
I wanted the course to be a course about creativity and how this helps to work in Native communities, to work in business, to work in healthcare, museum studies, all the areas that the alumna are accomplished in.
Rolling.
And students were assigned to interview the guests.
Can you explain your early career path a little? What were your first steps after graduating from Dartmouth?
Yeah, that's a good question. My path after Dartmouth...
When people get to know each other, barriers drop, fears fall away, and connections take place.
The guest that my group interviewed was Aja Dakota, who works with the Columbia River Intertribal Fishing Commission. It was a little nerve-wracking. I mean, interviewing someone who's so well-spoken and so knowledgeable about so many different things. We've read a bit about your people's first salmon feast and just the importance that salmon plays in your culture, but can you tell us a little bit about how that's significant in your work?
Sure. Salmon, we are salmon people, and not just the tribes who live in the Columbia Basin or the Pacific Northwest. I think every person who lives in the Northwest are salmon people. And so a lot of what my work does is to provide outreach and education about who we are, our history, why salmon are so important and critical, inherent to us as a people.
Aja Dakota was a very interesting guest for me because I'm super interested in environmental science and sustainability. So seeing how she tied in Indigenous backgrounds into her work with environmental preservation was very, very cool. I was able to interview Jody Archambault. Jody is this incredibly accomplished woman who's worked with President Obama, and she has artwork in the Met. And then I was sitting in front of her getting to do an interview of my own. So that was really surreal for me. I was wondering if your motivations for beading are more cultural and familial or political.
The reason that I dance and the reason that I make traditional Lakota clothing is to ensure that what my grandmothers taught me continues.
Being able to talk with her, it was incredible.
Meeting them in person, it was amazing, especially Molly, who's an experimental filmmaker. I'm a film major and a minor in Indigenous Studies. So looking at Molly's work, it gives an inspiration to me as a woman, me as a Native woman.
Each alumna who came to my class brought something at exactly the right time that I didn't know we needed for the course. And to the students, they were like, wow, that was exactly what we needed. Or now I understand what the other person said because that person came in. And that was just magic. That was just grace.
Seeing these Native alumni and talking to them and actually having these conversations with them was incredibly inspiring because Like, they were once here at Dartmouth, and now they're making all of these great impacts in their community, in the U.S., and globally. And that gave me a lot of hope to try and make the change that needs to be made in the world.
Being home, I was like stuck in a bubble and really didn't know much of my culture. I knew what my family has passed down through food, through conversation, through storytelling. And coming here to Dartmouth and this class inspired me to learn more and bring it back home. Yeah.
Okay. This is my I'm going to cry moment. So, I always wanted to be a teacher.
She was amazing. She's obviously a poet, and she spoke like a poet. Every time I was like mesmerized by her words.
But that's how you learn, right?
Professor Hyde is just so intelligent. Well, I had not really studied any Native American history before college, and a big thing is the way that Native American history is mentioned in just normal public schools. So like in my history classes, I would learn about the Trail of Tears and the Andrew Jackson era and just things that showed Native American defeat. And I think my main takeaway is that Indigenous people are very much still here and alive and thriving and doing this incredible work, and that was just exemplified by all of the guest speakers. It was just incredible for me to see how all these guest speakers are female alumni of Dartmouth, and so it just made me feel very proud to be able to go here and kind of inspired of like what work I may do when I graduate.